Brews. If you could find your way to a comfy seat and make yourself at home, we do have some delicious snacks courtesy of the Bucknell Small Business Development Center. We have some coffee from our friends at IV Coffee in Sunbury and in Mifflinburg. And we also have some, what is our brew of the day from our friends at W&S Distributors? What is it, Sam?
Zombies Are People Too, Pumpkin Ale by New Trail.
Oh, Zombies Are People Too from New Trail. And man, there's a lot of zombie and pumpkin, the pumpkin. And it's that season where now you can insert pumpkin into all of your coffees and drinks, and you don't have to feel ashamed because this morning the temperature was 49 degrees, which means we're all allowed to do so. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Thank you. Okay. Again, Business Bytes and Brews is our monthly installment at the last Wednesday of the month. We encourage you to come here often and bring a guest or 8. We would love this to be an entrepreneurial space where people can ask questions, in a safe place where, you don't have to feel like you're going to get beaten up online in a chat room and Facebook where you're never going to go back to that place again. I've been there. It is proudly sponsored along with Cup of Code with the Bucknell Small Business Development Center, who we've known for many years, is a great resource. I'll allow Stephen Stumbers to jump in and talk about that before we introduce our guest.
Thank you, Norm.
Yep, sir.
And welcome everyone. So yeah, this is I guess kind of the welcome again to Business Bytes and Brews. It is kind of an entrepreneurial playground. You're coming here with ideas. You're coming here with some things that you are trying out in your business, or things that you know that you need to learn to be successful in your business. All of those are topics of conversation every day in the offices and in the outreach locations throughout the region for Bucknell's Small Business Development Center. So as Norm said, I'm Steve Stumbris. For the few of you who I haven't met yet. And I also want to make sure that you know other members of the team, Ray Hayden and Amber Guerrero, members of the SBDC team, consulting with small business owners. And it's from the earliest stage, an entrepreneur with an idea, with a plan, with a part of a plan, with something scratched out on a napkin or in the notes of your phone, the idea. And we help you evolve that into something that you can actually take action on and launch as a business. And then beyond that, we continue to be a resource for small businesses of the region. We partner with amazing organizations like Cup of Code and other great experts throughout the region to provide training programs. And that's what's happening today. You're going to learn some interesting things, some things that you can take action on from Brady. Training programs, workshops, education. Always look to the SBDC for education about how to start and grow your business. And then also look to the SBDC to connect with Amber, Ray, and other members of our team to sit down one-on-one and say, okay, I learned that. How does this actually apply to my business and the goals that I have? So get together with us, chat with me, chat with Ray, chat with Amber. Set up a time to meet with us in the coming weeks and let us help you. Norm, thanks so much for partnering with us.
Thank you. Do you want to do a handshake for all the viewers at home?
Okay. Is this our secret handshake?
Yeah, I turn it, we smile and yeah. Oh, cheesing it up, right? So we are streaming live. If any of you get home and you want to watch this, again, or picked up a tab, you heard something you didn't quite remember. It's going to be on our Facebook, our Instagram, and our LinkedIn page. So without further ado, Brady, come on up. Brady Rupert is the owner of Social Web, social media advertising company, Williamsport, right?
Yep.
And so we've been watching, when you're in the space of marketing and you spend a lot of time in that world, you pick up on other people in the area that are doing it. And he reached out to us on a forum about being a presenter, and we were really kind of excited to see a new perspective and learn about what he's doing and try to support him. This is a place where we get to support small business owners, even if they do the same things that we do. I think the older that at least I get, or the longer in the tooth that I am, the more I can learn from people who do the same things that I do. And so I'm interested to hear what you have to say today. Without further ado, I'll step out of the way, let you do your thing. And
thank you.
Yeah, go kill it.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you guys. Again, before I start, just thank you for giving me this opportunity. There's definitely going to be a lot of good education here that I'm going to cover. And honestly, that kind of leads me into the title of this, because if you're doing meta ads, if you're a business owner and you want to run ads, you want them to make money. That is the bottom line, okay? And that is what I focus on, is the bottom line. You're running ads to make money, to get sales, to have them work and convert. So that's why it is the topic it is. So, why am I here? Again, I reached out in a forum. Thank you guys for having me here. And again, I'm here to basically educate you on how I personally run my own Facebook ads, and we're going to get into my return on investment. It's truly insane, like genuinely, and I'm going to teach you exactly how I do it. And again, it's great knowledge to have. Again, I'm Brady Rupert, 23, finishing up school. I started my business January 18th, 2024, so not even 2 years into this. And over time, my services get better and better. As you guys know, as businesses grow, you get better and you learn more, and you just keep adding more and adding more. And of course, I'm still not even close to, knowing it all, but I know a lot. Again, I'm going to teach you guys some pretty good stuff. Do I really know meta ads? You're going to see in the next slide my return on investment, how I do it, and then I'm going to get into why the return is what it is. Does he run the ads himself? Yes, I do. Again, we're going to talk about it right now. So this is a little blurry. You guys don't really have to see it. But basically, to just tell you the bottom line, right now, as my ads currently stand, I've made $32,000 in revenue, and I've invested $3,000 in meta ads. That is over a 10x return on investment. And again, I can show you all the numbers in the back end. If you don't believe me, please, I'll show you. But how I did that is, again, I'm going to be teaching you. And all this data does matter, of course, but we don't even need to get into it. We really don't. The bottom line is, it's making money, it's working. You double down on what's working, you test new creatives, and you build that back end system, okay? Like when you're running ads, that is the first step, okay? Usually it's cold traffic. For everybody who doesn't know what cold traffic is, they probably don't even know your business exists, so you're just getting in front of them first. You need to get in front of them. Cold traffic turns into a sale, and that whole process is, again, what I do and I'm trying to perfect. Why meta ads crush in this area specifically? So if you go to a bigger city and you advertise, it is going to be way more expensive because people in bigger cities understand how strong meta ads are. So they're competing for more space, or I guess like less space, honestly, which makes their cost per view way higher, which again is not ideal. But here, very low competition. Okay, every single person that I've ever seen do ads that I've touched, I tell them in a video in the first 3 seconds, just say, attention Williamsport, attention my ideal area, because you're running local ads. A lot of you guys are running local based ads. If you're in a service-based business, whatever that is, you're targeting a local community. So it's super important that in the first couple seconds of your ad or in your text that you're saying, hey, this area. So people know this is a local ad. People love local ads, okay? You guys know your social medias are usually ads from huge businesses. You don't care about those. You really don't, unless you need the service. But when it's local and you're like, oh, you know what? That's crazy. I didn't know this guy was in my backyard. Boom. That's the whole point of advertising. Proper follow-up. That's the biggest thing I'm going to talk about. When you capture somebody's information, when you capture an ideal client, what are you doing with that information? Are you sitting on it for days? Wrong. You need to follow. You need to literally reach out to them in the first minute to 2-3 minutes. Like I have it a minute. As soon as they click on that ad, they are the highest intent. They're like, I'm interested. You need to follow up with them immediately. And you have a system in place that if it's 3 a.m. and they're scrolling Facebook, you can follow up and you're asleep. It's again, like that's the biggest no-brainer. Doing local ads, like video ads, where you're actually as authentic as possible. You're not, yes, yeah, you're obviously trying to get a customer, right? But you can still be authentic. You can still talk about your business from a perspective of, hey, I'm not just trying to hard sell you on some stuff. You're really meaning what you're saying. And a knife to the throat offer, a bit of a, over exaggeration. But the point is again, when you're running ads, you want to have an offer so good that it's like, if you don't sell, 5 sales in this, like, you have a knife to your throat, basically is the point. Whatever you can offer to the fullest extent is what you want to, like, it needs to be a no-brainer offer. That's pretty much the bottom line of that. And video is king. I can't recommend this enough. You don't need to have a super high produced video that you spend thousands of dollars on. Just take out your phone, explain what you do. A video can tell way more of a story than just one image with a bunch of text. People, if it's not a great image, people are just going to skip by it anyway. Like, really think about it. How many billboards you drive by that you're like, this is like, I don't care. Like, I'm not even reading this. It just looks ugly. And I'm not gonna lie, I see it all the time. I'm not trying to, sorry, billboard companies out there. I'm not trying to be like that. But anyway, This is just an extra slide I put in here, but obviously when you're targeting, when you're doing ads, you need to find your ideal customer profile. So I personally, when I run Meta ads, I work with business owners. So you're going to see here in the detailed targeting, anybody that puts I own a business in their Facebook bio, anything, people who own Facebook pages, they're business owners, okay? If they have admin access to a Facebook page, I want to target them. And again, you can even go deeper than this, but you need to know who you're targeting. Like a lot of service-based businesses that are targeting homeowners, right? You're not targeting somebody who's under the age of 30 because ideally most of those people aren't homeowners. I mean, statistically nowadays, it's definitely even more true than it is. So you want to know who you're targeting and what area you service. Obviously, again, like you should know that regardless, but you need to have your ad say that so you're not wasting money. You know, it's extremely important. So now we're going to get into, in my opinion, the most important part about running ads. If you are going to run Facebook ads, you need to have a follow-up sequence, or you're wasting money. And honestly, leads are going cold, and your conversion rate's way less. So it looks a little complicated, but honestly, it's a more simpler automation. But basically, what this is they fill out the Facebook form, which again, for everybody here should know what a lead is. But a lead, again, is like the name, email, phone number of somebody interested in your service, or at least talking to you. So lead comes in, you wait 1 minute, I give it 1 minute, and then you send them a text and email. And then again, what I have in that text and email, I will show you, but it's literally sending them a booking link to have a discovery call. That's my process. Everybody's business's process is different. Maybe you don't need a discovery call. Maybe you sell them right there on the spot, okay? But you need to reach out to them and establish that touch point, especially in high demand services. Like, you know, if they just have a roof leak and you're a roofer, you need to have that point of connection, or in a day or two, they're going somewhere else because they need that service. You know, for me, I have a little bit more leeway because, you know, again, like I could give it a little bit, but especially if you know you're in a competitive field, you need to tap into your leads immediately. And then again, you have 2 days. If they don't book, you're reaching out to them. But for me, if they don't book in the first couple hours of leads, I'm calling them and being like, hey, do you want to book or not? You know what I mean? But give them that option and follow up with them. You could be sleeping and this can be working in the background. This is a non-negotiable for all businesses. If you have a website with a lead form and you're collecting leads, you need to have some kind of automated follow-up. Like nowadays, you need it. You just do. And then here's like more automation, which I'm not going to cover all of it, but when they book a call with me, right, I have stuff in the background that moves it in my CRM. For everybody that doesn't know what a CRM is, you basically manage your leads in there. You can track, okay, these people booked. These people are a hot lead. They want to work with me. I'm leaving notes here. It basically lets you manage all your leads and prospects in software. And here's another one. So they book an appointment, right? Before this, I had a confirmation text, but I have that in email. But then 24 hours before their appointment and an hour before they're getting texted. That's all automated. You set it up once, it's done. And genuinely, why that is again, affects show-up rates. It shows professionalism, and you don't even have to follow up. They're like, oh, I forgot this is in 24 hours. Let me make sure I put that on my calendar. Or look at Brady following up with me at, 11 p.m. No, I'm not. I'm sleeping. But, you think I'm following up. And again, I don't even try to make it seem like it's not automated. That's disingenuous. But it's great that it's there. It shows you actually have a proper system, and they feel like they're in better hands. So again, non-negotiable, 100%. So anyway, let's go into how you know if your ads are working. This is extremely important because within you launching your campaign, especially for small businesses, which is why, mainly who I'm talking to now, you have limited budgets. So every dollar you spend counts, every single one. You can't just throw money at the wall and hope it sticks. You need to know. And another thing too, you can figure out within a week or two of running these ads if they're actually profitable or not. It's not a guessing game. You don't need to wait months and months and months. Yes, sometimes it takes longer for ads to get up and going, sure. But if you have a really good ad and you follow the steps right out the gate, you could be getting sales in a week or less. Usually when I started running my ads with the automated booking system, I had 4 booked appointments in 2 days. 4 people booked for a discovery call, 4, which is huge. Because again, all you got to do is sell them there. The marketing's already done it. You already got that. Now you're on the sales call with them. So anyway, got a little distracted. But your cost per lead matters, obviously. Your quality of your lead matters. Again, these are all obvious things. And their conversion rate on your actual leads matter as well. So let me kind of break that down for you. So I just showed you guys that I have a 10x return on my ads. How does that work? Well, my cost per lead, my cost to acquire somebody's information is $15. I assume that I'm going to close a minimum of 10% of those leads. So you multiply 15 times 10, and you get $150 to acquire a new customer. That's what I am estimating based on numbers, based on actual data, that it's going to cost me to acquire this new customer, not including my time. Like, it's not an official CAC, client acquisition cost, but it is the actual cost of, you know, how to get a customer. So anyway, that's what you pretty much want to do. And you can obviously increase this percentage. If your quality of leads are really, really good and you have a really good offer, you're going to close even more. So this is like low end. You should be closing low end 10% of your leads. And obviously that depends on different niches. It does change, but that's mine. So I just showed you that. And if you guys knew what I actually charge, which I'm not going to get into that, it's worth it for me to spend $150 to get a customer, 100%. Especially, you always got to factor in lifetime value too. There's a lot of things that matters more than anything, is you're thinking about the lifetime value. If you're a chiropractor, a $40 visit, that's not true. If you just got a new customer, that customer is going to come back an average of what, 6 to 8 times? You got to factor that in, because then you're like, okay, maybe my ads aren't getting me the return up front, but over time I'm going to get 40 new customers. That's huge for pretty much any business, especially small businesses. All right, so to kind of like sum everything up, I know I've said a lot, but this is like my best takeaway, in my personal opinion, how I would do it no matter what niche I'm in. And that is, link all your lead sources into one CRM. You can have them, like, you can tell which ones are coming from, but basically if you have a website with a lead form, you know, built by Cup of Code, and you guys have that lead form, that data should be going into your CRM. Then you have Facebook and Instagram ads. All your leads should be going into one centered hub, and then you have your secretary or whoever that calls leads, or whoever in there sorting them, managing them. And of course you can run automation for all different types of things. And it's really not, to do it yourself, it's honestly, if you just start going down the rabbit hole, it's not crazy complicated to set up some kind of automated process. It's really not. I say that again, but I could be, that's my perspective on it. Again, have automation in 3 minutes or less. Make that point of connection. If they just said, hey, I'm interested, I'm raising my hand, you need to reach out to them and say, hey, we hear you. That's it. And I'm going to show you what one of my automations look like, or one of my text messages look like right after this. And again, running those video ads constantly. I've spent a little over $3,000 in meta ads so far. And I will tell you right now, I've been noticed on the street like at least 4 times. Like, just by people like being like, you're that Facebook ad guy. And I'm like, yeah, that's actually me. Like, I'm surprised you are talking to me right now. But imagine if you spent like tens of thousands of dollars over time. Everybody in your area would know. Again, you guys know the population in these areas are not huge. So, and you want everybody to know you exist. Like, I was just talking to a person who, like, the one son of the Hoopla's owner or whatever. He was saying that they've been in Muncie for how long? People live in Muncie for like 10 plus years, and some people don't even know that they're there. So, like, you always want to be having something going out to a cold audience, and you want that message to be a no-brainer. When they're scrolling, I have the best offer possible. You need to click that button. You are, basically you're communicating to the customer. It's a no-brainer. You're dumb if you don't click that button. We have the best offer here. Click that button. That's what you got to do. And you got to do it over time. And yeah, again, you should be able to see it. This is just an example of a CRM. People usually know it, but you sort it like that. Like, I have, like, the new lead comes in. We reach out to them. They're contacted. They're not responsive. So they're ghosting. So we got to give them a call. Or we got to, sort that out. Follow up. Okay, their appointment's set. As soon as they click that link and set an appointment, they're automatically sorted there. So, like, you don't need all the automation, but the more you learn about the automation stuff, the better it's going to be, guys. And honestly, I didn't really tap into this because I really don't use this, but you can even have AI read a lead's text message and make custom text back to them. I'm not doing that right now because personally, it's a little unethical and for me right now, okay? But I'm saying that's where the future's going, is you can have, like, literally AI nurture your leads for you and help book them in. Obviously, you still need that human touch point, and that's why I do human touch points. And this is what I was going to show you. This is exactly what I was talking about. The best human touch point you can have is this. So, and this is pretty much wrap it up. I know there's a lot of information, guys. I'm going to have a section for questions. Please be selfish. I have that there. But seriously, ask questions like, in terms of your business, like, what do you want to get out of this? This is for you guys to get something out of it, to siphon it. Anyway. So this would be something that's in my form. So they click that blue button. Everybody scroll Facebook and see that learn more blue button. When they click that, I ask them this question: what's your biggest business growth? Like, what's your biggest goal? Okay. When they fill this out, they're going to give me their business name. They're going to give me their biggest goal. In a minute, as soon as they fill out that form, I'm mirroring that back and saying this: hey, contact first name. Hey, Bob, this is Brady. Thanks for clicking on my ad. I see your goal is to generate more leads. They just said that. They just said that a minute ago. So obviously, like, they know who's touching, like, who's reaching out to them. I'd love to connect and see how social web can help you reach and grow contact company name, whatever business they put, Bob's Landscaping. You can book a quick call or an in-person chat here. And then boom, I just send them a link straight to my calendar. They click into there, they click a time, boom, they're on the calendar. And guess what? We're either meeting, and I give them an option to go on Google Meet. We can meet in person. I love meeting in person. I work with local businesses. When I meet in person, again, you guys know that it's night and day from Zoom to an actual in-person meeting. Reply or call me if you have questions. I mean, again, that's like, it may seem complicated to set up, but like when you actually look at it from this perspective, it's super simple, and it is 100% your leads. Way less leads will fall through the cracks. You're missing revenue if you're not following up, and that is pretty much, you know, the basics of everything. And if you guys have questions, again, please let me know. So, yeah.
We utilize a CRM called Marketing.
Yeah.
Not sure if you're familiar with that or not.
But I'm not sure, no.
That's one thing that I'm looking at getting into a little more, is expanding, coming off of our website,
Mm-hmm.
and eventually a couple codes gonna get my website and get to tear that all apart and fix it. Because that's a homemade version right now.
You did a great job.
Appreciate it. Once that gets put together and kind of knitted into everything, I'm hoping that we can embrace that CRM like you had showed there.
Yeah.
My CRM does have that feature.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to being able to implicate that so we can see all those customers come through.
Yeah.
Because currently a lead comes through on the website, I get an email for it, and I'm screening through my phone, getting that information in the CRM, and then doing that reach out.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And again, that manual reach out, where it can work sometimes, again, you want to just, it'd be better to invest, even if it's 4 or 5 hours, which it shouldn't be, but even if it's 4 or 5 hours you building that system, right? That is going to save you so much time, because, you know, you could be at dinner with your family. Like, you are not a robot. So, you know, to have somebody make that point of connection, and then all you have to do is check your phone and be like, oh, they said they're looking for this. And then it's just call, instead of, oh, I haven't reached out to them in 3-4 days. Boom, they went with another company. You know, and again, like, I don't know what field you're in, but a lot of businesses are very competitive. When you get that lead, make that point of connection in a minute. So if your CRM has that process, definitely start looking into it. Or, like, again, I don't know how many people's in your company, but, you know, have somebody look into that and get that set up, like, as soon as possible. You know, leads from a website, a hot lead is, you need to get on it immediately. Like, that's the best advice I can give through this whole, that's if you can sum everything up, that's like the number one thing that I've learned over time. So, but yep.
So this is obviously geared more towards service businesses
Right.
in terms of lead generation and making quick contact.
Yeah.
Is there an equivalent to that for more like retail businesses, where you're trying to get somebody into a brick and mortar store or to a website? Is there something you can do to engage them quickly that way that's kind of equivalent to what you're talking about?
Yeah. Honestly, like with Facebook, and again, I mainly work with lead generation, but I have done foot traffic for at least, 3-4 people. Basically, you can, first of all, at the Facebook level, you can have it so you can actually like make a campaign just based on driving people in for foot traffic. But if you're going to drive people in for foot traffic, you still probably want to collect some kind of information, which is why you can still, like, that same system still applies, right? So like if you were like, okay, I want somebody to come in and, I'm through this out, I'm going to give them 20% off if they use this coupon code. You could still collect their data, send them the coupon code, and then they could come in and be like, look, I got this off Facebook. That way you can track your foot traffic. Because one thing that's super important, and especially if you ever go with a marketing agency or something like that, you want to track everything you possibly can, because you need to know if they're working. So if you make an ad and you're just like, come on in, it's like, okay, yeah, you might have got 5 people to come in, but did they say, hey, I saw your Facebook ad, and you wrote down, this guy came from my Facebook ad? No. So you need some kind of process to where you are still collecting some sort of data. And it could even be like, screenshot this ad and bring it in. Like, that's very basic, but like they're at least going to come and be like, oh yeah, I have this screenshot, here you go. And then, you have something that is tracking that, ideally not on paper. That's the biggest thing I can say. Like, try not to do any of this stuff, including putting stuff in your calendar on paper anymore, because it's just like, it's going to get lost in the cracks. You want to properly track every dollar. And again, Facebook, we didn't really talk about it a lot, but you can see all of it. If you truly learn what Facebook ads are doing, you can see every view, every lead, your cost per lead, how much it costs to get a click, like all the nerdy analytics that you may not understand. Dude, just ask Google, ask ChatGPT, what does this mean? What is a good cost per click for my industry? What is a good cost per lead for my industry? Or just talk to somebody who knows what they're doing. But I know that was kind of a long answer, but I hope, did that answer most of it? Okay. Anybody?
I have so many questions, but I'll stick with one for now. Can you talk a little bit more about the idea of a CRM? Because I feel like many of us consider that as something a more advanced business uses, or perhaps we're in an industry that, let's imagine I'm an auto mechanic, right? So I've probably invested in a system that keeps track of my parts and my labor. And that's not always accessible for small businesses. And I feel like we don't know where to start. So like, what are options that a small service-based business getting started might be able to use as an entry-level CRM?
Yeah. So, I mean, again, I'm trying to think of like if there's a free one. So I use one that's it's called Go High Level. And again, I'm not affiliated with them by any means, but you can like white label it, make it your own CRM. But I mean, I really can't discuss enough how important it is to have this. Every client, even your clients, put them in the CRM, because when you do specials or you want to like let all your clients know something, or you want to let all your leads know something, you can literally pull it all and then just a couple clicks, send them all an email, send them all a text. So like, to be honest with you, like, you think a CRM in my personal opinion, coming up in the technology age, the AI age, you have to have it. You have to start. If you have 300 clients on file, all their information, you have to go and pull that information. You have to pull it out and you're like, oh, I got to email Bob. What if you want to email all your clients something? Hey, we're offering a new service. That's a free upsell. That's revenue just sitting there. If you have them all in a CRM, you go, okay, sort by clients, select all, write email. Hey, clients, just letting you guys know, or hey, contact first name, because you can make it completely customized. I just showed you that, like if I were to reach out to all my leads, I could be like, guys, I'm doing a big sale on my product. Okay, I'm going to reach out to all my leads. I'm going to make an email that says, hey, contact first name with business owner name. And then I'm going to write it, and I'm just going to send it all in one go. Hundreds, thousands of leads, hundreds of your clients you could just reach out to like that. So I would say looking to go high level. I think it's $300 a month, which again is, for a small business, that's kind of dense. But at the same time, if you actually are generating leads and you're generating business, and there are cheaper ones out there. Again, I would just say use your resources, but I know that's the CRM I use, and that CRM involves the automation and everything like that. So I hope that answered your question.
I'm going to build off what you just said. That was a slightly different experience. So I am a smaller company in the fact that we have 2 full-time employees plus myself plus 2 part-timers. With that business, I pushed off a CRM for a very long time because I said the same thing you did. Oh, it's expensive. Oh, it's a lot to deal with. I don't know what I'm doing with technology. I'm not doing it. My Excel sheet works fine. Fought with Excel for a long time, wrote every single one of my invoices with Excel. It used to take me 1 to 2 full business days, if not longer, to write my monthly invoices. It sucked. Now we're doing triple that in job counts, and I pay $40 a month for my CRM software.
Nice.
It's called Market. It's tailored towards a service industry. But if you were to so we're landscapers. But anything with appointments would work nicely for that. If you had something to schedule, it's called Market. So Market with an A. There's many options out there for different CRM softwares. This one starts at $40, and it replaces your QuickBooks, which by the way is also $40 for the base model.
Well, that's going to be mine, because like with QuickBooks, you can store information, but I don't know how well. I've never really used it from a marketing perspective.
Yeah. So Market will do postcards for you. Now, there's a lot of add-ons. So your base is $40. Every employee you want to add, $5 a month extra. But hopefully that employee is making you enough money that you can afford the $5. If I want to send out a SMS blast to all of my customers, we have probably 100 active customers annually. I have over 400 customers in the database of people I've given quotes to that I've met. Anything along those lines are in that database. When I send a text message out, it costs me $10 to write the initial post, and then it's like 5 cents a customer after that. So I send out a monthly blast to all my customers. Hey, this month's monthly special is this service. Can we sign you up? Can we schedule you an estimate? Now these people that called me, I had their contact information. At some point, they raised their hand and said, hey, we'd like to talk to you about you doing work for us. But they didn't hire me for mowing. Now it's fall cleanup season, and I'm putting my name back out there. Now it's snowplow season, I'm putting my name back out there. Now their business is looking for somebody to do something, my name's out there. So that constant outreach has helped me build exponentially this year. So there's cheaper options.
A true testament.
So running a Facebook ad, what is the length? How long should I run that ad? Is it something I should run for 2 or 3 days, 2 or 3 months? how long should I be running an ad before I change the ad's prototype or change the ad's call to action?
Right. Yeah, that's actually a great point. Again, I wish honestly could have tapped a little more into it, but now I can. So thank you for asking that. So a couple things to bring up. Frequency is one. That's a metric you can see in the ad manager. Frequency is how many times does the average person see your ad? You want it to be between like 3 and 7, but you don't want it to be too high because over time, if somebody sees your ad we've all seen it. You've all seen an ad where you're like, I've seen this ad 15 times. I hate this ad. And you don't want to be that guy. You don't. So I would say, what I do every month is I put in 3 new creatives, but I always keep that winning creative running until it's not running anymore. And a thing to kind of like push off that is, let's say you have a budget of $1,000. You're like, I'm going to spend $1,000 on Facebook ads. You want to test ideally nothing under 3 and probably nothing over 10 different creatives, because what that's going to do is you think, okay, you have $1,000, you test 10 creatives. Simple math will tell you that's $100 per ad. Not true. Because Facebook's going to see, okay, this ad's doing really well. That ad's getting most of the budget because it wants you to win. Facebook wants you to just keep spending money on their platform, like just flat out. That's what they want. So when you have a winning creative, they're going to push that one as much as possible. But again, I change my ads again, like every single month. And even for people that I've done work with, I change their ads every month. Because it's also really important. You take their winning creative, the ones that aren't really getting the ad budgets, let's say and you'll know which one's a winner and which one's not, like right out the gate. You can just, when I mean right out the gate, I mean give it a week. Give it a week. I mean, depending on your budget too. If your budget's super small, and I would say anything under 500 is considered a pretty small budget. But if it's like $1,000, you can see in a week, okay, it's spent, that'd be $250. You're going to see one ad is going to have like $180 spent. And it's going to have a cost per lead of like $10. Where the other ones is like $23 spent, no leads. So Facebook picks up right away, like, okay, this ad isn't good. But to also to kind of, you said something about the length of the video. So obviously,
No, not the video, the ad.
Oh, okay. Oh, how long you run it for?
Right, how long should I be running?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because, and you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but running a video ad, Facebook takes that every time it automatic starts. So it doesn't matter if that ad runs for a minute or if that ad runs for a second, it still says it played it. So
Yeah.
you're still getting charged for it. So unless you can, and that's my standpoint on a video ad, is if I'm spending $500 in a month to run that ad, and okay, Facebook said it saw 75,000 people saw that. Well, it's because the way their algorithm runs, it automatically played 75,000 times.
Right.
Whereas I have found running a picture ad is that yes, every time somebody sees it, but when you quick scroll through, it doesn't see. It's when somebody stops on it for a certain amount of time.
Right.
So that's why I run the picture ad. But how long should I run this picture ad? So currently I'm running an ad for the fall. Should I be running this picture ad for the fall for a month, 2 months, 3 months? Should I be running some kind of picture ad all year long? How long should I justify running my ad?
Right, 100%. First of all, if it's just one ad, definitely need to have more ads. You know what I mean? Because again, if there's just one ad, it's going to get all the budget. Whether the ad's good or not, it's getting the budget. And to be honest, that is correct. Whereas if they just scroll and they scroll past it real quick, that does still count as an impression, 100%. You can go into, again, like if you truly look at the data, which you have to have somebody do that. You have to, because that's where all your results are. You can see how long somebody has watched a video for. Like a good example is, and this is kind of more advanced, so we don't gotta go into it. But if you retarget somebody who's super high interest, like I can retarget somebody who watched 25% of my video. So you can see what is the average play time on this, and that is why I know I said earlier. And again, I know I'm kind of looping around your question, but I promise you I'll answer it. But like in the beginning of an ad, when you say attention Williamsport and surrounding areas, like me is like attention business owners in Williamsport and surrounding areas. That's why I say that, because I have literally a second or 2-3 seconds of time to catch these people's attention. So in my ad copy, which is again, like if you ever wrote a Facebook post, you post a picture of yourself, that's the text you put in there, the primary text. That's what ad copy is. Part of ad copy. But in the ad copy, I say, attention Williamsport business owners in surrounding areas. If you aren't in the surrounding area and you're not a business owner, I don't want you watching my ad. Keep scrolling. But like that's why you have to make that very clear right away who you are targeting in the seconds of your video and the seconds of your text. And again, to know how long you should run an ad, you can kind of tell. It's called ad fatigue. So based on the frequency, you can see, okay, how many times has the average person seen this? If it's over 7, no, you know what I mean. You got to change it up. You got to do more. And also, you can kind of sort it by, okay, how did this ad do in the last 30 days? How is this ad done across its whole lifetime? So if it's like the last 30 days, your cost per lead has increased 3x. Well, you know the ad isn't really performing like it did at first, and that's to be expected. Especially when you start scaling out. Like I've now recently started scaling my ads out, like putting more budget in. You're gonna have less of that huge return. Like again, the 10x return, that is far from normal. But what is normal is 2-3x return. That's what you want. That's a normal return. So I hope that answered your question. Like it just, for me, it's like the most important things you can focus on is test. Make a bunch of creatives, make a bunch of test videos, test photos, and then all your destinations need to be the same. Like I know it sucks because like I wish this could be some kind of training where I could really go into like the nitty gritty of a Facebook ad. But when you go to build your ads, you're thinking, what do I want at the end of the day? What do you want for your business? Booked appointments? Do you want just leads in general? You want sales. So it's like, for me, it's booked appointments. So I'm going to say, this is the destination I need it to go. And I'm going to build everything before that. That's pretty much it. Like everything, the whole process before that, they click the blue button, they get the lead form, they get the appointment. Does this work? Okay, somebody booked an appointment, it works. Now I'm just optimizing that to make that conversion rate higher. Hope that makes sense. I know a lot of it can go like, and I know a lot of it, again, it is a process. Like, you know, I wouldn't be able to do what I do if it wasn't, you know, if it was super easy, just point and click. But that's what I highly recommend. The video is the most important, and the destination to where you're doing it is the most important. And making sure everything has to be optimized. And you're not going to know how to optimize it until you go in there and you fumble around and you start doing it and you do the research and you just start moving forward. Just like you business owners do it all the time. When you started, you were bad. We're all bad when we start. And then we're like, I'm getting better. And we're always getting better. Same concept. Yep.
Brady, I have a question for you.
Okay.
So you're talking about booking appointments, using meta ads, Facebook ads, Instagram ads to be able, in Messenger as well, to be able to get those. Is there an importance to the other side, the branding side? If you're a new business and you're just launching, we're not talking about booking appointments here, but we're talking about getting the word out about my business. Do you have any experience in that? Can you talk a little bit just about what there's a clear path that you can take in the meta world to letting people know you're out there?
Yeah, and you know that's awareness ads. I think you're kind of talking about, which like you can run ads that don't have such a hard call to action, being like, give me your information. But the awareness ads are going to be cheaper. So like even if you don't have a huge budget and you're like, I don't want to do lead generation, I just want people to know I exist. Run awareness ads. And fun fact for you, and like the awareness ads, like I said, they're already cheaper. So it's cheaper to get your name out there. But also you can then retarget the people that were super interested. Which I know retargeting is, again, it's more of an advanced concept, but essentially what you're doing is I break the third wall. I literally have made this video. It's silly, but if somebody clicked on my form and didn't fill out their information, if somebody watched a huge part of my video, I retarget them and I'm like, I already know you're interested. I'm going to dance until you fill out this form. And I literally start dancing. And again, it's like corny, but it also shows to the client and the customer, this guy knows what he's talking about. And like, I'm appearing to be a meta ad expert. So I need to be like, you're already interested. I saw you clicked on my form. So join. Like, what are you doing? And they're like, he's right. And then when I sit down with a meeting with them, I'm like, dude, I can't get you off my feed. I'm like, that means it's working, you know? And that means you watched a lot of my video. You're clearly interested and we're having this meeting right now. So like, you know.
Could you show us that dance?
Yeah. Wait, what did you say?
Show me the dance?
I think it was like, hey, it's like that.
Isn't that that's from a video game, right?
Yeah, it's from Fortnite.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I can't lie.
I have a teenager who does that all the time.
Yeah.
Okay. Well done.
Thanks. But yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Is there anybody else that has a question? Like lots of fantastic content.
Thank you.
You my old ears couldn't keep up with you. You were firing hard through.
I talk fast.
I would encourage that if there's anybody here that has questions, because we like John from Zooks and Troutman's, we just literally had a conversation about the same topic as before you came in, and it's very timely because there's Meta, will give you opportunities to look at analytics and data, right? It'll put it out there for you, the insights. But sometimes you feel like you need to have a master's degree or a PhD to be able to get through and understanding how to extrapolate all that data and make sense of it. So, ask questions, reach out to Brady, reach out to Cup of Code, reach out to someone, or do what he mentioned earlier and take your insights and go to chat or Gemini and use the SBDC. Use those resources that we all have at our fingertips and say, hey, is this good data? And it'll ask questions like, well, what's the time frame that we're working with? What's the base at which we started with? What did you have before you started paying for these campaigns? What's the geographic and demographic targeting or behavioral targeting that you were using to acquire these? John brought up a really great point earlier, and he said, hey, I got somebody in North Carolina am I paying for that? No, it's an organic lead. That's okay. That's a free lead. Right. But if you are paying for a lead in North Carolina and you're running a septic or excavation company, that's a no bueno lead, because we don't want to spend money on getting somebody that's 8 hours away. So
like in our business, people want to talk to me. They do not want to fill out a form. So
Right.
I mean, they have a problem. They want to talk to, well, not me, but
right.
someone that.
Well, yeah, you can.
So how do you manage that? Because if I throw a form up and fill this out,
right.
they're just gonna be like,
yeah,
screw it. I'm on to somebody else.
No, for sure. What industry are you in?
Septic. So if you
Okay.
have a club toilet or
right.
a business.
Yeah.
They want to talk to someone now, not.
Right. So what you can do is the things that I'm kind of using is just like when I say lead generation, that's just the framework that I usually work with in my business. But you can have the destination just be like, call me, and you can run the ads only of time of operation. So, and that's again, either way you're collecting the leads, you don't have to necessarily send them to a lead form. That just works for me because straight up, there's not a lot of competition for me. So if somebody's like, I want to run Facebook ads, I could almost sit on that lead, which I definitely should not, and I never do, but I could sit on it for like 2-3 weeks and then call and be like, yeah, I was interested in having a call. So it works really well for me. It would honestly work really well for Cup of Code as well. And the service-based businesses where it's like, well, I mean, again, there's just still competition. So you still, no matter what, get on that lead, but you can have it just be phone calls. You know what I mean? And again, everything's tracked. So if you just want to have a phone call, or, I mean, it's kind of a roundabout way, but you still could collect that lead and send them to book with you a time. But again, like you said, people want to talk now. And especially if you're working with older homeowners, people aren't that technologically advanced. That's why you have to send them a booking link. That's why you have to get on them. Because a lot of people you're selling to, our generation hasn't come up with a ton of money to buy expensive services. So you're talking to people who aren't technologically inclined. So you need to think about their perspective every time. So if it's just call, it's super easy, and you can do that.
I can't tell how many people call our office and they don't even leave a message.
Right.
If someone doesn't answer,
yeah,
they don't even leave a message.
Well,
that's not good.
If I can just quick say to that, whether it's you're in a PR emergency and you need a crisis communications expert and you want to talk to Lori about that, you don't want to fill out a form and just wait.
Right.
You want to hear Lori's voice. If I am shopping for a loan and I need Jenny to talk to me about, qualifying me for a loan at M&T Bank, I want to know right away that I can call her. Mm-hmm. And even if she's with someone, she'll call me right back. If, it doesn't matter if I'm reaching out to Kathy Spake because I want mom water and it's the hottest stuff on the market. I want to talk to her and say, is it worth my time? Because I'm going to go back to my job now. But I'm going to swing home on my way if you have it. I mean, every industry here, whether it's professional car service, whether it's advice that we're getting, whether it's, it doesn't matter. Marketing. I often think back to what Tim said, and that was when we get a lead, we jump on it as quickly as we can. We still try to do that to this day. We don't wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, urgency. How does everybody feel in here when you've submitted a form request and you heard back from that person within 2 to 3 minutes? Do you feel good about that?
I'm still at my computer and I'm actually I'm in the moment of I'm going to respond. So if I can get that conversation.
High intent, the highest intent. You got to capture them at the highest
You feel good
intent.
about that.
Yeah.
Because now Brady, because he's taking the time to do that, or Cup of Code, they're saying, I care about you as a customer.
Yeah.
And it's a warm fuzzy, right?
Yeah.
So I think, if I'm Mark Lawrence, if I'm Mark Geeson and I am a donor and I want to give you $100,000 for the DAC, and I email you and you get back to me within 60 seconds, you've just eliminated the chance for me to go to another place and donate my money because you got right back to me, right?
I will come and visit you in 6
Yeah. Yep. He'll hop in his DeLorean and head back to 1985 and come visit me. But anyways, yeah, great questions. We're gonna wrap up the online portion.
Can I answer one more? Because I know you
Yeah,
had something.
please.
So, so in my industry with landscaping, if you don't get on that lead right away, there's 100 other landscapers right down the road that are happy to take your job. So same as you. I get a lot of times if you don't answer that phone call, gone.
Yeah.
So something that I've done that's worked well is, this is per guidance for these guys. They give me every single Facebook post, website, phone number. My website, as soon as they put any kind of information into my website, on my Facebook, anything like that, I get a notification through email and through my text. So-and-so has requested a quote, and here's the message that they typed in as to what they wanted. And I say right on my form, if we didn't answer the phone, give us an hour and we'll be back to you. And I'm usually within 20 minutes, I've got that phone call out.
Yeah.
But we're on machine. I'm still very much owner operator. So I'm in the field for 50 hours a week, and office work gets done on the rain days or at 10 o'clock at night. So I have a headset, don't always hear the phone come through, or not always in a good spot I can shut the machine down. So when they put that form through or they leave that voicemail, I can usually get back to them pretty darn quick.
Right.
But I have those systems in place to be like, hey, we're getting to you, because there are so many times that I hear, oh, well, I've called 6 different companies in the last 8 months and nobody's called me back. And it's one of those you question how other businesses are operating because they never call people back.
Especially around here, not to the level. And again, I know we got to wrap it up, but I will say, you guys took the time to hear me. So like genuinely, if you guys ever want, like, I will give you all the sauce. I love talking about this stuff. Like, I'm passionate. I know it. So like, you don't even got to, if you want to do it yourself, I will just give you the sauce. You can go for free. I genuinely don't care. But like, if you guys want to learn more, because there's so much to this, like you said, I didn't even cover, there's just so much. I wish we could talk about it for hours. I really do. No, but genuinely, like, I want to help. I love this area, and I grew up here. And I just think, again, even if you want to do it yourself, I will still put you on to everything you need to do by yourself. And if you don't have the time, I'll come in and I'll help. So just let me know. But yeah,
Can I ask one more question? Just to touch base on something that you said I think is really important.
Yeah.
You mentioned right at the beginning the importance of calling out to your local area that you want to target on the ads. A place like Williamsport, big city, bigger footprint. For the people here that have smaller businesses or rural businesses, where do you think a good place to start is in terms of calling out a location without seeming like you're isolating the towns beside it if you're in a smaller community?
Right. That's actually a great point, because honestly, when I did my ads to start, I would say Williamsport business owners. But of course, I'm running 50-mile radius. So I would just say, try to be like, go county, go central PA. If you're going 50 miles, central PA. If you're going counties, just be like, look, or you could even say, we're based here in Williamsport, and we're trying to help local businesses. Like, local to people, most people are like, again, hour drive. So that's what I would do. You gotta play around with that, because you gotta think about who's your ideal customer, and then you need to call out to where they are. Like, Cumming County for me would be Williamsport. Go broader, central PA. Go even broader, Pennsylvania. And then, at that point, you're not really calling out an area, but definitely don't limit yourself there. And you can, because like, if you seriously, like, it's one of those things where it sucks, but you're going to be messing up no matter what. Like, I've worked with 30, 40 businesses. There's things that can always be better. You can always be better no matter what. So like, you'll figure out over time, okay, we're only getting Williamsport leads. Okay, what do I need to do? So that's really important. I'm glad you said that. Like, you need to make sure that you're calling out to your area perfectly. You can't just say one town, which again, like I use that as an example, but that's how I started, was Williamsport and surrounding areas. That covered most of it. Then I expand my audience. Yeah. So great point.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thanks everybody. Honestly, this was awesome. So it's my first ever time doing this. So I appreciate it.
Awesome. Okay. Hey, thank you online for watching us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn.
Sorry I ran long. Man.
No, you're good. There's no time limit here, but I want to have time for people to individually ask you questions. Again, appreciate everyone here. We'll be back again in a month at the last Wednesday of the month, and we don't have too many more of these coming up because we do have holidays. Turns out that There's a Thanksgiving and a Christmas break that's popping in here. So the next Wednesday or so is going to be extremely important. And Lori, do we have you coming up next month?
Yeah, next
Yeah.
I heard in there like a sneak preview of Lori, right?
Yeah. Well, Lori is going to be talking to us as a seasoned and awarded public relations, crisis communications, and overall communications and marketing expert. We're going to be talking about reputation management, brand management, how to respond to the ne'er-do-wells, the people out there that are going to maybe try to damage your reputation intentionally. Do we ignore them? No, head nod, no. That's great. So we craft intentional messaging that that we put thought into around each specific, whether it's a negative Google review, a negative Facebook review, negative Facebook post. There's brand management, reputation management is critical in 2025 and beyond. And I'm really excited to have an old friend and a colleague and a pro to talk to us about it next month. So
September 24th.
thank you so much. All right. Without further ado, we'll say goodbye and please hang out, enjoy, and we'll have some more conversation. Cool. Thank you. Cut.